Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I lost my voice, make a new verse, I've been having fun since we got into 2024. So Happy New Year 2024. It's the first episode of DAS. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am Oluwa Shegun, and it's the Digital Asset Show on Pop Central, the only internet money podcast for our era on DSTV. DSTV is the biggest cable network television in Africa. So if you're not watching this, what are you watching? You're welcome to DAS. And today I have two wonderful people. One is a developer, a blockchain developer, and another one is a prolific writer. What is Bitcoin price today? Let's go straight to coin market cap. Make I raise your temper. Bitcoin price today is $41,607. Yes, Bitcoin has tanked. I know everything is coming down like domino. Why? What's making it come down? This ETF in town, 11 different ETFs in town. Okay, there's a lot to talk about, right? What's the market cap of Bitcoin? Now, 1 year story. $815 billion plus. There is no company on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The Nigerian Stock Exchange itself, there is nothing about Nigeria right now that is up to the market cap of Bitcoin. What are you investing in? What are you buying? What are you holding? There are only 21 million Bitcoin. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. Me and my guests, we go iron things out today. You're going to learn. So welcome. Ben is a blockchain developer from Zone. Zone is owned by one of the big top men that I've met in this space, Obi, right? Great guy. You guys are doing wonderful stuff there. But get things way, I know they let people know. I got snow today. So you're welcome to my show, my man. Yes. Thank you for coming around. And also my guy from, have you left business day?
All right, so Thursday was my last day in business day.
And you are going to, should we break the news on the show?
On Monday, I'll be joining Tech Cover.
Whoa! So that's Franklin. That's Franklin. Franklin, up until this moment, reps business day.
Yes.
And by Monday, by the time you're watching the repeat episode of this, it's going to be with Tech Cabal. Wonderful. He's a prolific writer, and he has a lot to say when it comes to building the Bitcoin blockchain crypto ecosystem in Nigeria. So let's run into it real quick. I'd like us to talk about the top stories. ETF launched about some days ago. Let's say about a week, Thursday to be precise. What's your take on the fact that the ETF launched and the biggest corporations that are like no are now like oh yes, and how does that what does that mean for the world when it comes to digital currencies? What does that mean for Nigeria? What does that mean for that asset class, which has been classified as the best performing asset class in the last decade? What does that mean for people and wealth creation in general? I'm going to start with, you're a developer, so
I'm an engineer.
You're an engineer, a blockchain engineer.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to start. What does that mean for the world?
Oh, okay. Like I think for me, I would love to take it way back. That was like 2017, where during the World Economic Forum, so we had like the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, that's James Damon.
Yeah.
So he was being interviewed, and like the question then was more or less like, what does he think about cryptocurrencies? And it was more or less like we are talking about real asset class here. We're not talking about crypto, all those bubble teas and all of that.
Yeah. So he downplayed what Bitcoin could be.
So like it was scary for me, but like fast forward to 2019,
Yeah.
and we have like JP Morgan Chase like creating their own blockchain ecosystem to be able to like do settlements and all of that.
So what you're saying is don't believe what they say, watch what they do.
Yeah, that kind of thing actually. So like Bitcoin ETF actually is a very interesting thing because like what it says is that it allows traditional investors that have been on the sideline, the likes of Warren Buffett and the rest, that said, okay, no, we don't like this crypto thing, right? But now there are corporations and regulations that are in place that says that, okay, now you can now invest without the exposure of the risks to you being FTX'd. Or you
being lunad.
or you being that or that other kind of thing. Or you more or less having to deal with the whole intricacies of running a wallet and dealing with it and now. And what that means is that there's a lot of new money coming into it.
Awesome.
Mostly old money though, actually. Like old money is like ready to like.
There's new
okay,
money into Bitcoin, actually.
It's new money to Bitcoin, but it's old money that is coming out.
Yes.
It's like, okay, now it's not interesting to invest in it.
The oldest Connie money is the biggest. So I'll go to thank you very much, Enrique. Frank, I'll tweak the question a little bit. Standing on what does ETF mean for our times? Emphasize on our climbs. We have corporations that have just done 1 trillion in market cap, like Mr. Tony Elumelu's Empire. I'm talking about Transcorp and UBA back to back, and you know, and so many other big businesses in the space, and you know, yes. What does this type of occurrence in the world when it comes to monetary value, as it concerns Bitcoin, wealth creation? What does it mean for the world and our clients?
I think first of all, for the world, it means an opportunity for the older guys who previously had been skeptical about the cryptocurrency market, especially Bitcoin. You know, because when most of them hear cryptocurrency, what they hear is Bitcoin. Others for them is like shit coins.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So
Absolutely. You can say that
for
again,
them,
my brother.
it gives them a leg into this market, and they don't necessarily need to crack their head trying to understand it. Now it is their asset managers that are going to be doing the heavy lifting for them. So it's not them trying to do it. So whatever happens to my money, I'm going to hold you responsible because I gave you my money. So if you decide you're going to put it in the ETF with my approval, and because you convince me it's going to be good, then you're going to make sure that I get my returns from it.
Yes.
You know. So for them, that's a safe space, a safe environment for them to come into the cryptocurrency market. And it is good for the crypto market itself because it means that there's some form of validation that has now come.
High class, high profile validation.
High profile validation that has now come into the
Although
market.
Bitcoin never needed that validation because the market that pushed Bitcoin to this standard is the ordinary people's market, the retail market, right? Pushed Bitcoin to this top level, like the white paper said by Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash. Before the biggest money bags, you know, came in.
But then you know that even though the ordinary people push the market to where it is, that ordinary people pushing it wasn't enough to bring it to mainstream.
Absolutely.
We have over time been talking about when are we going to see supermarkets, retail shops using Bitcoin to
transact,
to transact and all of that.
For
So-
tokenization
exactly.
of real world assets.
Exactly. So
not
no
unnecessary
matter the
things.
utility or the transactions that have been going on, the popularity that that this coin has gained over a period of time.
in just about 14 plus years.
Exactly.
Still
Very young,
big,
actually.
yeah, very young.
So it didn't get it to that mainstream. It was, I think it was 2021 when we started seeing Visa, we started seeing PayPal trying to do something, and then
Yeah,
even
yes,
Tesla
yes.
tried to
I mean,
test it. And
Just a few months before
and then
then,
it pulled off
Michael
again.
Saylor.
You know, so those would
My
have
Microsoft
been.
is still like very much into it now. Though.
No, that's our poster OG. Come
So
on, man.
those would have been watershed moments for the market, and it would have meant that we wouldn't need these old hands, whether they came or they didn't come. You know, but at the end of the day, when those guys didn't take it to the next level, you still needed this validation, this top.
And
this
the market
top-
cap of
yes.
Bitcoin is even still very small to other asset class like real estate, gold, silver, you know. So, but now that these money bags have come in a few
it means
years,
that
they've done billions.
it's going to bump.
It's going to go up.
Yes.
And my concern is there are only a few Bitcoins. There are just about 21 million Bitcoin, and already.
Some are
1
lost
million,
already.
1 million is in Satoshi's wallet, never been moved. I don't know if it's ever going to move. It's because Satoshi Nakamoto is pseudonymous. And any circulation, we have just about maybe like 18 million. Rarely moves to maybe so less than 2 million to buy and sell. About less than 900 million daily. That the miners are willing to actually trade. the most numbers are with the people, and now the ETFs gulping the Bitcoin real quick from the people. Africa, where the market actually booms the most. Do you think we are being left out? Do you think that there is something we are going to miss in another 5-10 years when it comes to owning Bitcoin as the greatest asset in the world, a finance asset, an asset that cannot be debased, an asset that is not controlled by any government, the one true asset? Other asset class are not bad, but they all have VCs behind them from Ethereum downwards, you know what I mean? So on top of the crypto chain, you know, the most sincere that we have seen.
Yeah, model of them all.
What's happening to Africa? What's happening to Nigeria?
So I think
in that regard.
I think for me though, actually, it's more or less like lack of sensitization, and that's why we have shows like this actually to make people be informed and know. Because like I can tell you for a fact, there are people that trade Bitcoin and they don't understand this fact that okay, it's a limited supply. You probably want to keep some rather than just trading everything whenever you get it and all of that. Yeah. So in terms of being left out, I think that's happening like very quickly. ETFs, I'm not pro ETF. I'm probably not going to get anyone and all of that. But like the truth actually is,
I'm not pro ETF either.
Yeah.
I love it for the market, but I kind of think that a peer-to-peer marketplace, you know, like what we are building at Boston Catch, works ordinarily for everybody. You know,
I think I'm just gonna put the money down. I mean, money is good. What's the point?
I know money's not bad. Money's not bad at all.
If this money's been made in BlackRock, why would I put my money in there? So,
you know, my concern is also overselling beyond what the reserve may eventually be. Because at the end of the day,
eventually.
Because when the people are not even awake yet. A lot of people are not even awake yet. It's still the early parts of 2024. You know, so what do you think is going to happen when other parts of Africa, Europe, America start to wake up, and these big companies that have invested in practically everything, oil and gas, agriculture, health, in different parts of the world,
and now
now like, hey, our investments, look, you guys can bring all that money into this ETF. What do you think is going to happen?
That's a concern. You know, when we talk about wake up, our own type of waking up is different. When the West wake up, they're waking up with technology, the hardware of the technology. When we wake up, we're waking up to leapfrog. Hardware.
And we wake up to the wrongs.
So we are always trying to layer something on top of what somebody else has built. You know, so
because ownership, we think ownership it takes too long. We think that it's stressful. Do we really believe? But rather, you know, the white man syndrome. And they've done it. Let us just rely on top of it. Where have you done it before? No, there's nothing like invest in research and development and let's give it a try. You know, Elon Musk was giving money to blow up rockets just like that, like Banga. You know, until he got it right. Yeah. You feel me?
Which is also the point that he was trying to make about awareness. Is not just awareness for the sake of awareness. It's the quality of awareness that you're bringing. You know, you need to think about where are you targeting this awareness. All right, you can teach the people, buy ETF or be part of the market, be part of Bitcoin, come into the market. It is safe now. There's regulation around it and all that. But then you can't discountenance the place of lawmaking, all right? So you've got to go for policymakers. And while you're talking to them, you have a different message for the executives who are in charge of the money. They have to put money into research.
Yes.
There has to be, and that was a problem that we had. You know, you talked about that that much of the trading activities in Bitcoin has happened in Africa, you know. At the time it was happening, we should have been an opportunity for us to start thinking about how do we start.
Rather, what they were doing was clamping down on the stuff that could liberate poverty.
Exactly. And the more we clamp down, the more we support consumption.
And the more we throw the market into the black market.
What
happens to the BDCs? Hold your thoughts, my brother. You know, look at what the government is doing to the Bureau de Change. You know, the Association for Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria is headed by a very prominent Nigerian and someone I see as a leader, you know, Alhaji Aminu Gwadabe. And and I have a very strong relationship with the association in LRG, and I see their pain. They have not been allowed to digitize their operation as BDCs. Now, the government wants to resolve FX issues, right? Trying to settle backlogs, but they really want to, ensure they cleanse the market that has been proliferated by, these black dollar sellers. But you don't want to allow the association that you kind of regulate to digitize, whereby you can actually see
what they're doing,
what they're doing, what is really happening, because they're telling you it's not our members that are doing this stuff, it's other people. Now, do you guys think that all of these things that has happened, we have slacked, we have missed what we could have done with the ETFs? I felt like our own Tony Elumelu, Shegun Agbaje, Herbert Uge, the biggest investors in the fintech space. I'm not just these bankers that I've mentioned. Maybe like the Florida Wave man, and so many other top, person in that space would have been able to rally around and throw one African project in, and compete. Not even at that level, but maybe at our own level. And we'll be out. Maybe like a very major peer-to-peer exchange, which is what we're trying to do about the cash. Now, I am subtly beginning to think that we would, again, miss out on the opportunity to truly, truly, truly adopt Bitcoin. So, this is my thoughts. Should it be a worry? Should it be something to really fear? Or there are other opportunities because there are other cryptocurrencies?
No, actually, so yes, Bitcoin is the mother of them all. And like you said, actually, we're truly like losing out on this opportunity. But for me, actually, it's like a flip side, given that, okay, you know what, we already have the market, right? We are generating volumes like per month. Like I was reading chain analysis. Like,
do we really have the market?
Yeah, we do. We do actually.
What's the purchase power of the average Nigerian?
Yeah, do we really have the market?
How can we buy? How do we want to buy the dollar to buy the Bitcoin?
No, for real though, we have the volumes, and like that has remained for the.
We do have the volume. I agree.
So like,
value of transaction.
Yeah, actually.
22 in 2022, over 22 billion transaction was done in total of our e-payment ecosystem. In 2023, it must have shut up because of the
like
redesign thingy, right?
So
I'm thinking we truly have the market, whatever it is. $1 is still 1,300. We get population, we fit still buy $10 worth of BTC, right?
But when I think about having the market, I think about the infrastructure.
That was where it was coming. You took it right from the mouth.
Because when you make your volume or your value, whatever it is that you're making and all of that, the fee of whatever you make is going to the owner of the infrastructure. So imagine that you made maybe $1 billion in a year. The fee from that $1 billion, calculate that of all the countries that are on the Bitcoin network. The same country owns it, all right? Or say 5 countries own those infrastructure. You don't have the market. You're just a consumer.
Hold your thoughts. You're a developer. This is for you. It's yours. I know you want to quickly attack it, but so let me buttress what Frank is saying. Frank, I love the way you're reasoning. You're a writer, right? You write for the people. You write for the media. So you must think like this. I am also really, really thinking that we are not investing in building enough. Brings us back to research and development. Infrastructure. Yellow card, I saw them say Coinbase is in Africa now. Beautiful. I mean, how beautiful it is for our market. Who owns the infrastructure of things that will be happening? That's one. 2, how many Bitcoin developers do we have? How many companies are investing in truly, truly building and not going to end up being susceptible to APIs, and they will start paying for just calls, etc., etc. I think that there is an organization called BitTrust. Shout out to BitTrust and what they are doing. From Carla to BitTrust, they're really helping But we are a country of 220 million. You know, these guys are doing so much for Bitcoin, ensuring that we build Bitcoin in the open source way. You as a developer, how do you think that Nigeria, the ecosystem, the builders, the random P2P guy, the exchange founders, and even the fintech owners, the ones that have contributed immensely to the development of our fintech infrastructure space, that have invested so much money, what do you think they should be doing right now? What should the conversation be? What should be accelerated? What should be shoved when it comes to developing infrastructure that would not allow us play the back row upon what this whole Bitcoin thing is going to do to the world?
Okay. So I think first things first, we need to like talk about what Bitcoin really is.
Good.
If you look at Bitcoin itself, it's like a payment infrastructure on its own.
Good.
Because you don't need any intermediary.
You don't.
I can send you Bitcoin, you can receive Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is
You
a
just need,
peer-to-peer electronic cash. So simple.
So like if you look at what's happening within the fintech space, you need to like try to build like infrastructure. You need to like build connections to different banks. You get to make sure
It's
your
so
servers are, like,
fragmented.
yeah, it's fragmented and all of that. But I think that what even comes to what
Not
we're doing
right.
at Zone, because like we're a blockchain-based company. We're working within the financial sector.
Zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing actually is this: when you understand that there's already an infrastructure, and what you just need to do is plug into it, it more or less like enables you to like scale very quickly. So Bitcoin already exists. People are already transacting on Bitcoin network now, with or without a bank, with or without a wallet. It's so like fascinating because the first time I used Bitcoin, I had to download the whole blockchain and download the wallet.
Oh wow! So you want to know?
So like, but now if you just
That's
go,
interesting. You felt free. You felt like, oh, I am a central. I am an open source bank that cannot be debased, right?
that
was how I felt when I first interacted with Bitcoin.
You get like,
downloaded.
I was just like,
the entire
okay,
Bitcoin
yes.
core.
So this is it now. So I could do transactions and all of that. So that's like an infrastructure on its own. So I think for me, I feel the narrative should be, how do we leverage this infrastructure? How do we like plug in our systems to it? How do we more or less say, okay, you know what? We have like seamless on-ramps and off-ramps from Bitcoin, right? Imagine like my off-ramp actually could take me like 3 to 15 seconds. Like I'm trying to use Bitcoin to pay for something.
Yes.
You get
Lightning network.
You get
Liquid.
like
We can even
very liquid
create,
and all of
because we have
that.
the
So
numbers and
like
we have
that
the
should be
market.
like the focus of the narrative. How quickly can we get off Bitcoin to our fiat so that we can use it to do the things we need to do? And that's what came up with Bolt actually. Bolt is like the fastest P2P solution like in the market now.
Yeah,
you don't need any individual in between and all of that. So the cool thing actually is that we are there already, but we just need to like change the narrative a bit.
We are there where?
We're there already.
You are there.
Where exactly
We are not there.
we are.
I'm just optimistic, yeah. Actually.
No, let's create the. No, I'm not trying to fund or FOMO, however I want to say it. But create the most sincere atmosphere. Look, we are not there.
Yeah. So
We are not there. So you as a developer,
yeah.
I'm putting it to you on national TV now. How many of your developer friends have interacted with the Bitcoin Core protocol? And I would ask you to, right? I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just going to ask you, have you interacted with the Bitcoin Core protocol?
Yes, I have.
And what does that make you? How does that make you feel as a developer, not just as an individual? You told us how you felt as an individual, but as a developer, and then what is happening in your ecosystem? Because I know that we have very little or no Bitcoin developers in Nigeria. We have a few.
That's what I was coming to.
We have a few, but we don't have an ecosystem.
Mentioning you're a developer, and I'm like, how many people are even?
We have a developers ecosystem. Lots of developers are in Nigeria. Shout out to all software developers in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Working at the biggest companies in the world. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, besides what you're doing at Carla to BitTrust, right? Shout out to all those guys that made that happen, right? How many? What else do we have? We need.
Can we compete with those numbers that we have?
There are Bitcoin companies everywhere. There are fragmented developers here.
Yeah.
So So I'm asking, I'm back at you.
So I would agree with you actually. Like within the Bitcoin ecosystem, there are few developers, but that's because of flexibility, right? Because it took a lot of tweaking for the Bitcoin network to be able to access smart contracts. You had to start additional layer 2 solutions and all of that. So people want to scale very quickly. People want to build interesting solutions, right? I don't know if Tether exists on the Bitcoin network, USDT.
I mean, you don't need to exist on the Bitcoin network.
Yeah.
What
So
you need
like,
to do
I'm
is
just
to be
more or less telling you like
interoperable.
how quickly like you can scale and all of that and build very flexible and interesting
It's very
solutions.
quickly, I can
You
tell
get-
you.
So
Taproot can
most
really
people
help you
actually
do
decide to go with
smart contracts.
EVM-based
Yeah,
blockchain
development.
You get EVM-based. No, yeah, definitely you can build smart contracts on the Bitcoin network, but like it's just more or less like a lot of developers would favor, and a lot of companies. They don't know even cases like the case of developers. A lot of companies will scale. They want to scale very quickly, so they'll go with EVM-based solutions that is very flexible and it's built like that.
Isn't that what we should be building?
we're building that now.
Shouldn't we be laying emphasis on helping those developers that already know how to write software codes interact with the Bitcoin core? We're going to come back. We're going to go on a break. I know you want to talk. Hold your thought. Let's go on a quick break. My producer said we have got on a quick break. It's getting so interesting. It's getting so intense. But we got to try to make some money, right? All
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
It's still the Digital Assets Show. And I have, Enrique Faye from Zone. Very interesting guy. I also have Frank on the far end. Used to be with Business Days. From Monday, is going to be with Tech Cabal here on Pop Central Channel 189 DSTV. The only show that takes you on that exhilarating ride of the fast-paced cryptocurrency world. Bitcoin on top of the food chain. We're going to be right back. Stick with me. Don't go nowhere. I remain Olu. Welcome back to the Digital Assets Show. And I'm your man, your guy. Who's your guy? Olu, or Hustle Alaji, like some of my old-time friends would call me. Lami. Digital Assets Show with Bitcoin on top of the food chain is your one-stop go-to cryptocurrency education show. Buy Bitcoin and prosper. We already spoke about a lot. And now I have a new guest who I want to ask some very important questions. He's a very conversant face on national television. Sometimes you see him on Channel TV as a crypto analyst. His name is Crypto Preacher. He's my guy. And he's a Bitcoin Crypto Preacher. You're welcome to the Digital Assets Show.
Thank you very much. Do you have me? Olu, not Olu.
Olu, oh yeah, you know. Yeah. It's good to have you here.
Yeah,
Crypto
thanks.
Preacher.
Yeah.
So let's run to it real quick. There is now VASP,
Yeah.
Virtual Asset Service Provider. You may not want us to talk about this part of your professional life, but I got to let people know that you're the Executive Secretary of Stakeholders in Blockchain Association of Nigeria, CBAN. And I don't know how much information, how much investment monetarily, infrastructure-wise, research-wise, advice-wise, content overall that CBAN may have invested in the journey to VASP guideline eventually coming out in 2023, late 2023. Looking at general cryptocurrency space with Bitcoin on top of the food chain, there's ETF, there are 11 different ETFs. What do you think the VASP is for Nigeria?
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. The industry has been working on all of this for a very long time, way back 2019. I've been part of it. I think the committee that actually engaged the SEC, I was part of it. Then also the blockchain policy committee, I was part of it. Personally, in my own capacity, for those that know me,
Say you're a big man. Say you're a big man.
So we've been pushing advocacy very hard. In fact, for those that actually know me very well, way back 2018 till when the ban started with the then CBN governor, I actually challenged the then CBN governor to the debate when he said crypto, Bitcoin is in thin air, it's from thin air. is
Emefiele,
opaque.
Mr. Emefiele is always saying different things.
You know, so the journey has been on for a while to make these people understand exactly what's going on with articles here and there that we've written in the past, from Business Day to Vanguard, even self-sponsored and all of those things, because we love the industry,
Yes.
right? So on the CBAN level, there's been papers here and there from the last, from the foundation administration led by Mr. Paul Ezefulukwe and Senator Ihen. There's been a lot of discussion with the. In fact, at some point, I was even moving for something that we had to engage the Deputy Senate President at some point. You know, then I wasn't part of the Executive Council. Okay. Now that we're part of the Executive Council, the blockchain policy that took place last year through the Minister of
the National Blockchain Policy from NIT. Under the former minister Issa Patani.
Yes, the CBAN is actually a member of the committee for the cryptocurrency ecosystem.
How much was allocated to the
You don't have to sit down on national TV. No, I think the CBAN president was really on top of that, doing a couple of things. From the virtual asset service provider guideline is very good, because in the past we've seen a whole lot of terrible things in this industry. I've fought some battles. In fact, I remember in 2019, Olu, you remember, where I called out a project, a shitcoin, Tatcoin, and I was promised to be killed.
Tatcoin, that's our Igbo brother Gaius.
Yes, I was promised.
Gaius is a prolific Bitcoiner, but I don't know how he messed it all up with Tatcoin. But to him, I think Tatcoin is a great project to him. Yeah, but for us that can see from the outside, I think Tatcoin is a shitcoin. I think Gaius is a great Bitcoiner. I think he's a big time advocate for Bitcoin in Nigeria and in Africa at large. But I think Tatcoin is a shitcoin.
Yeah, so what I think some of the things that the OGs of this industry do, which is wrong, they're supposed to protect the industry, right? But what they do is that they create projects they can get liquidity to buy Bitcoin.
Did CBAN ever reach out to Gaius and try to engage and understand what Tatcoin is? Maybe there's something that we don't know. I've seen reviews that are not nice. Look.
So let me tell you.
So I understand that's the good for this ecosystem.
Let me tell you. This, I'll give you an insight.
But we just got to be on the side of the truth.
I'll give you an insider information, because I was driving to the point where I'm saying that a lot has happened in the industry. So there was need for a virtual asset service provider guideline, right? So I remember that in 2019, personally, I am the first person that questioned that project. I said, CBAN should look into that Tatcoin. And Gaius Chibueze, Bitcoin Chip, did not take it for me. If you go online, you will see articles.
So what has happened to Tatcoin? And
it died. It died. Oh. Yes, it died. It took a lot of people's money.
He doesn't promote it again.
It died.
That's how they all died. Tatcoin, what kind of, they all died. Shitcoins always died. So, but have you guys been able to work things out, have a conversation, brother? I don't mean wrong. I just want to be on the side of clean ecosystem. Have you been able to reach out to him?
So the fact that we're growing and we're getting better each day, I think in 2020, 2021, 2022, after all of the back and forth, because CBAN then, through the then secretary, which became President Senator here, did an open letter to him to withdraw some of those statements. In fact, the matter went to the police. I took it to the police, because somebody cannot tell me, because I'm a believer of this industry, that they will kill me and I will allow.
Well, he said that.
He said it's online. It's online. You can Google it.
He threatened you, Nigeria.
It's online, but it's absurd, because.
No, but it's not nice.
Then also.
But I think he's a cool guy. I think he just wanted to defend. So that's the problem with a lot of shit coins, right? I mean, you're hold yourself to my brother.
Yeah.
You see the content online. Yeah. You see how somebody who creates a token from nowhere, defend that token, FTX, Luna, I'm talking about SBF and Duquan. And lots of them like that, Shinky and so many others. So you see how they promote their shitcoin and they are so they I don't want, for lack of the right word, they are so very defensive about it and they can come after you. And when it goes bust, they fall back to Bitcoin. Why do you think that is? Not you for now.
Okay.
Yeah, please, Frank.
So, a lot of times Well, what do you find some of those guys are that they have a lot of followers many times, so they tend to take advantage of that large following to create something, that creates a buzz that keeps the followers coming back or even hold them a little bit in a high esteem, But for you to create that kind of product, you've got to have some strong defense around it.
I mean, you
So
should
that-
have something backing it.
Exactly.
That's
So
what,
when
if it's
someone
going to be a
comes
real
after
world
that, you want to-
tokenized asset, let it be. You can't make another Bitcoin.
It's like asking yourself, how do I make the most of these people who are following me? So you've got to create something that gets you some
amongst the very popular, people out there doing Bitcoin. I like the young man. What's his name? B Lord. He stayed on Bitcoin for a while, and it's been well. Anyway, I'll come back to you, Crypto Picture. We are very happy about the CBN lifted the ban from the banks. Now people can on-ramp and off-ramp. You mentioned that.
Yeah, sure.
Or was it Eureka that mentioned that? How do you think the industry is faring now? Because the guidelines are there, no licenses are issued.
Sure.
I don't know if the incubator program has started, but the form is not online. If you can find the form online, let me know for the incubators program to start. So, what exactly is happening now? Are people doing transactions? Of course, we've been doing transaction peer-to-peer, but now that the ban has been lifted, what exactly is happening? That's one. Two, what exactly would happen upon confirmation of this progressive circular that has come from both the CBN and the SEC to the crypto space? How exactly would adoption curve shapen in Nigeria, going by what is happening in the entire crypto space?
So I will start with, we're doing a lot in terms of education in Nigeria, and you can quote me wrong if we're not doing enough, because in adoption, in the world,
We're not doing enough. Don't worry, me and Frank are on the same
let me
side.
quote you
That's how
wrong.
we finish Irike before you come up for you. We are not doing enough.
I'll give you facts. I'll give you facts.
Yeah.
You can check it out. When it comes to P2P, we're number one in the world.
No, we are great.
No,
the
number
market
one
is great
in the
for
world.
us.
Number one in the world.
Nobody disputes that.
Number one, when it comes to awareness, we're number two after India.
And Google says so.
So I was checking Statista the other.
But the number of people that are unaware are even more than the number of people.
No, so if we're number two in awareness, and we're in top 40 cities, Lagos, top 40 cities with crypto jobs, that means we're doing well.
No, I believe we're doing well, but still,
A lot needs to be done.
almost 25 billion transactions over one quadrillion.
Olu, let me not lose my thoughts.
Trillion
Olu, let me not lose my
naira
thoughts.
was transacted in 2022/2023.
Yes.
How many of that fraction? What percentage of that went into Bitcoin?
So let me not lose my thought. There's a question you asked me, or I guess in a bit, what is going on with the VSAP?
Okay. Now you they make me drag you. As they go like this, and they drag you.
The truth is, I don't want a situation whereby we put this conversation in a straight line. There's a way I talk. So we have
So
to
go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
So-
Hit it.
Yeah. So it's a very good thing. We've seen a whole lot of challenge, but now since the ban has been relieved, what is going on now is a lot of consultation is going on. We know in May 2022, the SEC came up with the guidelines, even when the ban was on, right? And they are saying that for you to be part of this industry, floating exchange platforms and hosting wallets, all the wallet providers here and there, you need to have registration, you need to have payments that amounts to a huge amount of money. I think about 500 million.
No, there's a working capital. So the
sure.
former head of registration, Dr. Timi Agama, was on the show, and he spoke about the working capital requirements. It's 500 million working capital in cash or in assets, just to show that I'm capable of doing this business. But the form
that's the
itself
same thing
is
we
about
talk about.
100,000, 30 million.
So
I think it's kind of too exorbitant.
No,
For
so this
the
one-
average crypto market.
Yes, for the average
Yeah,
crypto
so
market.
this one,
yes.
so this is where
market trader.
this is where my challenge is. If you're bringing, where we are now is, the CBN Wahala has gone, but SEC has not given us a clear path. This is the danger. This is the danger with the SEC.
Now, drop the bomb.
Bought Me Cash is an indigenous platform. Will you do 500 million for the all of the registration and cash and everything?
It's in my children go chop for free.
Exactly. So this is where
we have the best infrastructure, but me cash. But
so
we are begging the SEC. What are you doing to
so
incentivize
exactly?
indigenous
So
platform?
if we're talking about local content, charity needs to begin from
At
home.
home.
So I am a big believer of the Africa ecosystem of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Nigerian ecosystem. We are Africa.
You know why I said Africa is because if you look at the African map, if you flip it like a pistol, Nigeria is where it strikes.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you said charity begins at home. It begins here.
yeah. So
Yeah, but nail it. I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go there, please. Go there.
So if Nigeria strikes, we actually can be on top in the world. So you can see platforms like Coinbase. Coinbase is from
It's
the
in
US.
Africa.
No, it's US.
They're in Africa now with yellow cards.
I know, but Coinbase is US based. See what they are doing with the ETFs.
It's crazy.
So local content.
So we
Indigenous platform.
Look,
Promote your indigenous.
We don't have a lot of time.
If you don't promote your indigenous platform, there's problem.
Yes, it's true. You are there.
Yellow card is not Nigerian.
So we need that advocacy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yellow card is not Nigerian.
True.
Lulu is not Nigerian.
Yeah, but they've come
Quidas
into
is-
Nigerian
yeah, but they
hands.
cannot come and oppress our indigenous platform. We will advocate for that. That's why we're here.
Boom! Shakalaka. And I don't hear yellow cat. Where are you guys? Come and defend yourself. Hold your thoughts. I'm coming back to you.
All right.
What the fuck have you been all this while, my brother? Come on, don't burn. Relax. Frank, we have a few more minutes before my producer starts to say let's round up. We have a few more minutes. Now, what should we do as a nation? Firstly, you heard Donald Trump say, I am not going to allow the CBDC is going to, make it very difficult for you to be free with your money. The government is going to want to see everything you're doing with your money. It's a surveillance tool, blah, 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 blah. And everybody applauded him. It's true. E-Naira is a surveillance tool. I mean, CNGN was happening to it. A lot of things are going up and down now. What should we be doing as a nation as it concerns creation of tokenized assets, stablecoin development, Bitcoin adoption, even this entire guidelines? Is it right? Can we soften it? I want you to just cap it all up in like, you got like max, maybe like 1 minute, 30 seconds. What should we do as a nation? What should the builders do? How should the town hall conversation be? Is this a presidential economic meeting kind of level conversation? Or it's just these young boys doing crypto? Just give them something to eat.
I think there should be some form of clarity around regulation. All right, so first of all, what I'm concerned about is that you have NIDA with their own national blockchain policy.
Yes.
Then you have SEC coming out with VASP.
Yes.
So the industry sort of don't know where should we trade with this one and end with the other one. Should we be looking at NIDA? Should we be looking at SEC? SEC has said we are the ones who are doing it. But NIDA still has, that is a
Yes,
policy.
yeah, true.
So
Policy
and that
there.
policy has not been removed. So
Absolutely.
there needs to be a sit down of all the stakeholders. This time around, the government themselves.
Now there's a guideline.
Exactly.
Can we have a town
Exactly.
hall? Yeah, can
So
we have the
NIDA
conversation?
needs to come,
This is what this
sit on the
means.
table,
This
and
is access to funding, access to
everybody-
education.
everybody needs to come and sit on the table and say, when are we starting this thing that we have said is a regulation for this industry? Because as I've spoken to a lot of players, they're all running around. They don't know where to start, or they're like, we don't want to shout, but we just maybe want to start something.
And time
I
flies.
think, and time is flying.
There are only 21
So-
million bitcoins.
Exactly. And then you can't, he just spoke about local content. You can't fight foreign guys with a lot of money coming into the country in a time when the government needs money.
Or the ones that they have funded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the government needs money, they're going to collect it. You don't have the money that these guys are bringing.
They proliferate the
And
economy by
until-
funding a few
until-
people and then tip
Until
the
there's a
government
sit down, then the local guys come in and say, we are ready to start this thing, but we're just looking for you guys to tell us, where's the red line? Where do we go? And where should we stop? where do you continue from here? Are you bringing in any funding into the market? What is happening? We want to know what direction this your regulation is talking about.
How can we interoperate?
Exactly, and we can start.
Round
And
it up,
then
my brother.
you now start talking about this whole thing about the stable coins that they're trying to bring in, because it's also a distraction in the
mean the
market.
CNGN?
Yes, it's also a distraction in the market because everybody's now thinking, if that come in, what happens to the money points of this world? What happens to the others and all that might want to play in the crypto space and all that?
People
Are
will
they
go
going
and
to be
create their own
forced?
BNG and FNG.
Exactly.
And
So
some money bags that
there's-
have
there's a
liquidity
lot of
more than
distraction.
the consortium.
On one hand, you have NIDA, on the other hand, you have SEC, on the other hand, you have CNGN coming and all that.
It's crazy. It's
So,
crazy. Thank you very much, my brother. We're gonna have to bring you back. Your last words. You came late, my brother. You came late. But your last words. What should we do to better our ecosystem? 2024. What should it be for us? What do you want to see?
So I did an article in 2019 talking about why
You got
the
60 seconds.
The National Assembly need to start putting regulations, talking about it, like the Congress in the US, right? You see congressmen talking about crypto, how stablecoins should be regulated. We need to see that in our National Assembly, the House of Rep. It's not just going there to say nay and highs, all of that. We need to see people, very smart individuals in our National Assembly. In fact, Nigerians should start voting people in blockchain and crypto IGAs.
Don't you think bills need to be presented?
That's what I'm
Because
talking
some of
about.
These people have not been sensitized
No, that's what I'm talking
and educated
about.
about this.
Yes. So the
So
smart
you want
people
to tell your constituent
to talk
representative?
about, yes, as I'm talking to you, I'm engaging a member of the House of Rep, I
Good.
mentioned on
Awesome.
TV, that there's a need to bring a bill around this thing. Talk about it. So that it puts
Because we
us,
have the
yes.
market.
Yeah.
And the ETF got about 20-something thousand Bitcoin in a few days. What's happening to our market? They're going to take all the Bitcoin.
And
then
more is
we're
going to
gonna
come
have to depend on.
as soon as everybody launch their own ETF. More is going to come into the market.
Oh my
But
God.
we're not on the table.
Time flies when we're having fun. I want to thank you so much, Franklin, for coming.
welcome.
Franklin is.
So we're done? We're done?
What you mean we're done? You're going to pay for the extra airtime. Oh my God. Rumi came late. That's my brother, Rumi. And I want to thank you so much and for everything you're doing for the ecosystem.
Thank you.
You were some level of shit going out before I was part of your orange peeling.
No. So
You're my guy, but I was part of your.
so
Today's issue. It's not your show. It's not,
let's do
bro.
this.
It's not your
I
show.
love Satoshi Nakamoto, and Olu is not Satoshi Nakamoto.
So I want to thank you very much. I want to thank my producer. I want to thank the team behind every production that was done. I want to thank you all for sticking with us. It's Pop Central Channel 189 on DSTV. You're seeing us everywhere, all around Africa. It's the Digital Asset Show, the first of its kind on national TV. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Rume. We're going to have to bring you back. This is for the ecosystem. Don't feel bad about whatever it is. If it touches your business or whatever it is, this is a platform for expression, platform for truth. So reach out to me on my social media at Mr. Lami Coach. On my Instagram, I think it's at Coachman Lami. I don't know if he's on the screen, but yeah. Same time next week, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Digital Asset Show. We'll be right back. I love you. Happy New Year. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you, my people.
Thank you.
Au revoir.